All right, so it looks like we're live. I'm just going to double check. Let me go to my channel here, videos, and it looks like we are live. So, all right, cool. So we are live. Hey, everybody, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. Tonight, we're going to talk a lot about some things that I've been working on, and obviously take some questions from all of you, whoever shows up here right now. It looks like there's maybe 3 people watching, so definitely not a popular time Saturday night. I mean, everybody's got better things to do at 9 o'clock on a Saturday than watch this crap. But nonetheless, we're going to be here I'm going to be here taking your questions. And if you have them, you guys can obviously ask anything regarding firearms and other things that are going on in your world here. So we'll let some people pop in and out. We'll see who's coming in, that sort of stuff. So right now we've got 7. So like I said, we'll just wait, see who's showing up, and then we'll give it a couple of minutes. I'm just going to shut off some of my screens that I have open here and go from there. I'm using StreamYard here, so of course it's always about, trying to, get some things squared away here. So like I said, I hope everybody's having a great night, a great weekend. We'll just stay right here. All right. All right, everyone. So we're going to talk about a lot of things that I've been doing lately. One surprise firearm that, honestly, I think everybody should be taking a look at. Especially for those of you who are budget conscious, that's always important, especially when, certain people, don't want to spend a ton of money on firearms, which I think is a good idea. So hello, ND Irish. Floridian is here, and Kev Monty 1. Hello from California. Wow, California. Well, you probably have it worse out there than I do in New York, but hello anyway. How you doing? So obviously we have worldwide crises going on with the Ukraine and Russia. We'll see where that plays out. Hopefully it won't be a nuclear war. I'm going to talk a little bit about a firearm that I just shot about a week ago, and also something I've been building. I've been posting some pictures on YouTube and everything. Also, it's my first AR build, so it's been pretty cool. Didn't think, to be honest with you, I was a little intimidated by it at first, but now that I'm starting to get the hang of it, it's actually really simple, and it's actually really cost conserving, I guess. If you're going to go and buy a fully, created AR-15, you're going to pay a lot of money for them, especially now. But I actually am building this one up from the start, and it's actually been pretty cool. Learned a lot, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So Parts by Teddy, hello, sir. How are you? Dennis Buckner, how are you? It's going well. Can't wait to hear how the building's going. It's going slow. You kind of have to take it slow, at least in my book, just because, you can throw a lot of money into these things. And again, it's kind of a free for all. And we'll talk more about that. And then Captain Phil saying, blah, 10 round mag limit ban passed in Washington State, off to the governor's desk. Yeah, every time we make one step forward, it's 2 steps back somewhere else. And that's why, a lot of people will always say and give me crap when I've done my YouTube channel about, why don't I just move? Why don't I get out of here? Go to a free state. And I've said it all along that, it's easy to say that you should leave the, a communist state, so to speak, and go to a free state. But at the end of the day, eventually these laws that are passed, they're going to affect all of us. They're going to try to come in every state, and they're going to try to do the same thing. So there's no point in running away from it. You've got to face it. You've got to be able to do something about it. You've got to be able to, rally the troops, so to speak, to kind of fight these policies. And then hopefully at the end of the day, you win. Reginald Gibbons, hello. Pistol Pete, is this the Christian chat? Well, I'm a Catholic. I don't know if that counts, but we won't be speaking about religion, so to speak. Not in Texas, 1776. You're absolutely right. I mean, there are some areas of this country right now that are never going to change. Texas is one of them. Hopefully Florida will be another one. But some of the other, southern states, North Carolina has seen a lot of influx of, different people who don't necessarily, cherish those types of freedoms. Dennis Buckner saying he picked up an Aero Precision Strip 5.56 lower and a 9mm upper and lower. That's pretty cool. Be interested to, see how that goes for you. My next build, if I do one, which to be honest with you, they're just so awesome to do, and they're pretty easy to do. Probably going to pick up some from Aero Precision next. Obviously there's a ton of stuff out there, and, we might as well start with the AR building, so to speak, and kind of discuss all of the things that are available to you. And, obviously I'll take your input as well. But, when I started this whole thing, it was always something I wanted to do, but I wasn't really fairly confident thinking that I could actually do it. Um, and if you're kind of like me, partially a nerd when it comes to guns. So I definitely read a lot. And I try to, get as much information as I can before I make a decision, because obviously, funds are a huge important part of that. If you have unlimited funds, great, no problem. You can go build yourself a $5,000 AR, no problem. But again, if you want to kind of piecemeal everything together, you want a little bit of a mixture of quality, save some money for certain parts, and then maybe not necessarily for other parts. That's kind of the way I've been approaching it. So for me, it's actually been a pretty enjoyable experience and very educational one as well. So, and again, that's something I would honestly recommend to anybody who's into firearms. If you've been thinking about doing a build or not, excuse me, I highly recommend it. And the reason why I say that is simply because you're going to learn a lot. And anybody who's into guns, you can't be afraid to learn something new. And for me, that's kind of why I did the build. I wanted to learn from scratch how to do everything. I won't lie, I did cheat a little bit on the trigger. It's a drop-in trigger because I was looking at some stuff online and I kind of liked the specific one. So it was a drop-in. I felt it was the easiest part of it. So why the hell not? So let's look at some of the comments here. Let's see. It says, let's see. Floridian saying, hoping constitutional carry passes in Georgia. That'd be pretty sweet. Mr. H0661 is saying we're going to take back Pennsylvania in November. I sure hope so, sir. You're my neighbors to the south. Let's see. Captain Phil, Idaho. I could run across the border only a few hours away. Very true. It's a free land out there for sure. Pistol Pete in the Gem State. What is that? What is the Gem State? Is that, I want to say, God, what is it? Is it Wyoming? I don't know. Oh, well. Let's see. Arrows from Washington State. I'm proud of that part of my state. So a lot of people live in some free areas, that sort of thing. I live in New York. We don't have anything here. We're gonna use baseball bats and bows and arrows, unless you're a criminal. If you're a criminal, you have access to everything. If you're a legal abiding citizen, it's always a struggle. But I will be honest with you, before I get to the AR stuff, one of the things I noticed, and the reason why it's such a struggle in these areas where I live, for per se, is that there's a judgment. People who are not into firearms, when they learn that you are, there's this massive judgment they put on you, like somehow you're weird or crazy, or they don't like your personality or whatever it might be, just because you're involved in firearms. And I find that kind of ridiculous because, again, if you've watched my channel, I don't glorify violence. I don't, advocate for violence against people. I talk about guns. I try to educate about guns as best I can, and I try to learn as much as I can about guns. So it's kind of ironic how you got these people who are jumping down your throat because you're pro firearm and you're a firearm advocate, and somehow you're dangerous, when in fact the people who are trying to stop you are actually a little more dangerous, in my opinion. Let's see. Bald and Curious is talking about lacrosse as not being a real sport. Okay. I'm pretty sure you've never played a sport in your life, Bald. I just saw you the other day, buddy. Oh, Idaho is the Gem State. Yeah, what the hell do I know? All right, so the AR build. First off, I'll give credit to Bald and Curious. That's why he probably showed up. He's looking for some glory here. So he actually donated to me. We kind of traded some things, and he actually gave me a bolt carrier group from Palmetto State. So it's actually pretty nice. I mean, it's in my opinion a pretty decent one. Is it the top-notch best one? No, but I wasn't looking for that in the first place. But it did save me about $150. So I truly appreciate that. So thank you, Baldy. Let's see. Dennis Buckner agrees that it is very true. We are looked down on. And that's the crazy part. It's like, we're not, like, if you look at most of the channels on YouTube that deal with firearms, the majority of people are not at all advocating for the violence and for the use of them on people. It is more or less a community-driven educational program, if you think about it. So it's almost like you're trying to educate people on the use of firearms. You're trying to educate people on the idea that firearms are actually a normal part of our existence, because, again, when we create things as people, it becomes a part of our culture. And firearms, whether you like it or not, folks out there, it is a part of American culture, for good and for bad. And unfortunately, there are some people who would like to wipe that out if they could. Bald, the same PSA gets the job done. Fancy BCGs don't work any better. And I agree with that. I mean, nickel boron would have been nice, but listen, I'm going to take what you gave me because it was free. Let's see. Geeks and guns. That's right. Everybody's a geek with a gun, at least in my opinion. So let's talk about the AR build. As many of you know, I actually wound up getting a Wilson Combat upper and lower, and both were stripped. I was a little nervous, to be honest with you, at the beginning of it, because you just get these pieces of aluminum. and you're kind of like saying, hey, what do I do next? And honestly, like I said, I do a lot of reading, and I'm always trying to figure out better ways to do things. And after doing the lower, I have the lower on my desk right here, but I can't show it because God forbid. But after doing the lower, I realized, Jesus, these are so easy to build, and it's a lot of fun because you kind of the way I did it was I took a bunch of different parts. I did a little bit of reading. Obviously, I was pretty happy with the Wilson Combat stuff, and so I went with their upper and lower. I actually have a barrel coming from them as well, and a gas tube and a gas block. But everything else is kind of different. So I have an Aero Precision buffer tube. I've got the Magpul grip, which is I think the K2 grip, which is actually nice. The actual feel of the grip is really nice, and it's just been really cool to do. I have a what is it? Forward controls. Ambidextrous mag release because I have shoot rifles lefty, unfortunately. And then I just put on the I can't even remember the name brand of half this stuff, but I think it was Radiant or something like that. I can't remember, but it's a ambi safety. It just was a lot of fun to do, and that's just the lower. So I'm getting all the pieces, delivered every other week or so to try to put this thing together, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks this thing will be done. I'll get some ammo for it. And I already told Bald and Curious we're going to go out and shoot it just to see what happens. So I might actually let him shoot it first. So if it does blow up, it'll blow up in his face and not in mine. But we'll see how that plays out. But it's been a pretty cool, interesting experience. There's some things that I learned along the way. Some things that I screwed up on already. For example, I didn't realize for whatever reason that the upper on the Wilson Combat doesn't have forward assist on it. So some people are pro and con about that. Me and my first build, honestly, I don't really care. So unfortunately, I bought a forward assist, spring and a little, whatever you call it, plunger. I don't know what the hell you call it, but I bought one. And then I'm looking at the upper today. I'm saying, wait a second, why did I buy this? Fortunately, it was only $12, but nonetheless, that's something you learn. So for me, it's been pretty sweet, man. I've been super, super happy with it. And it's coming along real nice. It's going to be an all black AR. With a little touch of OD green, and then maybe the next build, a little FDE, something like that. But so far, it's been cool. I mean, again, you have people who are going to criticize you and say, well, you're advocating violence because you have an AR-15. But it's the experience. It's the experience of building your own. It's the experience of fine-tuning it the way you want to. The trigger's a Rise Armament trigger. It's actually really nice. It's pulling a little bit under 4 pounds, which is really good. Super, super short reset. I mean, it's pretty damn fantastic, to be honest with you. But overall, I mean, it's been an awesome experience. So I'm super happy with it. Let's see. Hey, Keith Gregory, how's it going, sir? Let's see. Thanks for the honors. Already blew up one AR. Great. So maybe you won't be touching this one, Baldy. Andy Irish, how much do you think you saved build versus buy? Well, I mean, if you look online and let's say, for example, you look at an Aero Precision, what do you guys think? Maybe about $1,000 for an Aero. For a Wilson Combat, I mean, they're ridiculously expensive. I mean, they're like $2,000 and up. I can tell you right now, after everything I have, barrel, upper, all the stuff that I have, I still need to get a buttstock on this thing, and I still need to get a handguard. Those are the two things I'm missing right now. Oh, and a charging handle. But I would say probably after the full build, I probably saved myself a good, depending on the brand you're going for. If I was going to compare it to a Wilson Combat, I'm going to say I probably saved, probably I want to say almost $1,000. Again, I'll do that when I do the review of the AR, and then I'll talk about like price points and everything that I paid for. So I mean, it's been really eye opening, to be honest with you. And then Bald is saying, Andy Irish, it's building is not just about saving. You're getting custom ting. I don't know what the hell that means, but the way I look at it is, you're going to have an opportunity to do what you want with it, and that's the most important thing. Like there was certain things that I bought ahead of time, and then I never used them because then I'm saying, well, I don't really want to use that. I want to use something else. And so, like I said, it's been a learning process. The next one I build, I'll have it down a little bit better. So I'm assuming then it'll save me even a little bit more money, but at the same time, still customizing it to the way I want it to be. Dennis is saying he's building his 9mm other before 5.56. Yeah, I mean, that's something I definitely want to look at. I'm thinking about actually wanting to buy or build an AR in 7.62 by 39. That's what I'm really looking forward to maybe possibly doing the next time. So if anybody's done that, let me know how your experience has been with that. Dennis is saying arrows are well over $1,000. So I mean, I can tell you this thing has been about $750, about $800 total, and I have just about everything. So, like I said, I definitely saved some pretty good money on this, and it's going to be a nice build. I mean, like I said, I'm getting Wilson Combat barrel, Wilson Combat upper and lower, and full disclosure, guys, they kind of helped me out a little bit because I'm going to do a review on that stuff. They did offer me a little bit of a discount, not a huge discount, but every penny saved counts at this point. Let's see. La, 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 la. Somebody said something before about my video. Where was that? Video quality is great. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I've been working on some things too with the camera and the lighting and stuff. You guys see I have a little bit of wall art back behind me here. So of course, this is the way. That's the big new thing in regards to the Mandalorian. And I'm a huge, like I said, huge science fiction nerd. I love this stuff. It's just the stuff that I like. Bald is saying he thinks he has a charging handle. He has to look. And he said 7.62 by 39 is a waste of time. Better off 300 blackout. Russian ammo is dead. It might be, but I've got lots and lots of it. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, let me finish this one first before I decide what I want to do next. Because again, there's going to be some things I have to do to it in order to make it New York State legal, which is going to be really just the magazine. I've got to make sure the magazine stays fixed so that I can maintain all the rich features of a real AR-15, which is ridiculous when you think about it, but that's kind of where we are. So be it. So the other thing I want to talk about is I'm going to try to get a video out tomorrow for you guys, and it's going to be on a gun that I wound up purchasing. It cost me $350, and it's the Tishas PX9 Gen 3. It's imported by SDS Imports. It is in my opinion, it is a great gun. I mean, I shot it already. I put about 150 rounds through it. Flawless, great gun, awesome trigger, you name it. Everything about the gun has been rock solid. I got a little bit of grief from someone saying, "Oh, more money going to Turkey and stuff." And look, I understand that, but politics aside, I find it ironic that people are going to criticize others. Once again, everybody's got an opinion about buying Turkish guns, but nobody has a problem buying a Chinese phone or Chinese clothes, Chinese sneakers, Chinese parts, Chinese microprocessors, and all this other stuff. So nobody ever has a problem with that. But when you decide to buy a gun from Turkey, oh my God, it's terrible. Don't do that. Well, tough. I did it, and I'm very glad I did, because that gun is feature rich. I think that's what I was trying to say. Feature rich. It has a ton of stuff to it, and the price it's ridiculous for what you're getting for that gun. So that's coming up soon. And then Bald is saying, no, not another Walmart gun. So, we're gonna ban Bald and Curious because he is such a gun bougie guy. All he cares about are guns that are $17,000. But unfortunately, what he doesn't realize is that there are people out there who don't have that kind of money. And then he sent me a picture of my face on it. You're an idiot. He sent me a screenshot of the image from the from the live stream. So I'm looking at the screen right now here. It's kind of funny because it looks like I have a great tan, although I'm naturally tan, for those of you who couldn't figure it out. But I look like I went sunning at the beach this weekend. So I didn't do that. I actually went for a walk today with my wife and the 2 dogs. Let's see. Captain Phil said, I finished one build, and if there's a leftover piece, I have to build another because of reasons. And it's true. And that's what it's funny because all this time I've been wasting money on handguns, like handgun. And what I'm finding is it's so much easier to get my hands on ARs than it is handguns. I got to wait all this time to get this stupid gun. But with an AR-15, all you got to do is order the parts, have one piece, sent to your FFL, and boom, you can get it done in a couple of weeks, depending on how much money you have. So to me, that's been the eye-opening thing for me. And I guess I probably should have had those eyes open a long time ago. But it is what it is, man. I'm pretty stoked. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super, super stoked with this thing. But hopefully it comes out well. I think, there's always that initial investment. So like, for example, a wrench and all that other stuff. So that stuff is coming. And in the meantime, when I look forward to doing another one, I'm going to have a lot of that knowledge, plus a lot of the parts that I didn't use or parts that I needed in the first place to then offset the cost later on. Lorraine's asking, did your Tishas come with the optic? It did not. I mean, for $350, dude, you'd be killing it if it came with an optic, but unfortunately it did not. So I actually took the optic off my Masada, and it's interesting because, like I said, that the Masada was probably one of the best low budget firearms as well. And I have to say this one might beat it. Now, the interesting part about the Tishas is it's actually, from what I gathered, it's actually a Springfield XD clone. So, for example, aftermarket parts are easy to get. You can fit in XDM or XD holsters. You can get Glock sights for it because it takes Glock sights. And interestingly enough, the slide actually is cut specifically for an RMR pattern. So, for example, Hollow Sun, Trijicon, and Swamp Fox also. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. So we've got 28 people watching. Thanks for everybody joining. Appreciate it. Again, I'm pretty surprised that we even have that. Again, it is a Saturday, and some people like to kind of join me for the chats, which is kind of cool. And it's been a while. Like I said, I've just been so busy with everything, with life in general. But I got to get back on the horse with this stuff because I enjoy the chats a lot. It just gives me an opportunity to talk for an hour or so and get some questions down and see how you guys have been. So, obviously what I hinted on before was the fact that, there's a lot of people who are going to criticize, gun people. And, one of the things that I've always tried to do is whenever I speak to someone about firearms, I don't try to hide it. And I don't try to pretend that it's something you should be ashamed of. What I do is I actually try to promote it. And I try to actually, support people who maybe don't know much about firearms, but are looking to get into it, maybe getting a carry permit or something of that sort. And I try to promote it just by saying, look, you have an obligation and a duty to yourself and to your family to keep yourselves protected at all times. And because of that, you should be carrying a firearm, and I always believed that the more people we encourage to do that, the better our power grows and the more our influence grows. And I think that's more important than anything else. Pistol P was saying he was shooting 10 millimeter today and he loves that round. So that's cool. Do I still have the Archon? I do. Let's see. And again, guys, ask away if you have any questions. So let's see. So this one person's name, that's a pretty long screen name. I put 879,000 rounds through my Glock, not one jam. What's up, dude? I love the name, by the way, and I love the eagle on there as well. So very, very nice looking name and picture you have there, sir, or ma'am. Don't know. But yeah, so I mean, obviously we have some other stuff going on in the world right now. The gas prices are going through the roof. I mean, we're talking by me $4 a gallon. I'd like to know what you guys are dealing with, but I'm at $4 a gallon right now. So I just put in $60 the other day, and I got maybe a day and a half out of it, and then had to fill it up again. So yeah, thanks, Joe. But again, obviously we're looking at some issues out in the continent of Europe. So I think that's obviously a problem here. Pistol Pete, do I run pistol lights? No, I do not. I don't. I mean, some people buy into it, that they have to have this, and that. I don't. Whether it's right or wrong, you can decide. But the way I look at it is from a lot of different perspectives. First off, do I carry a flashlight with me? Yeah, I do. I actually carry a small light with me at all times, so I have the ability to turn that on if I need to. The second part of it is the fact that when I'm carrying a gun, I don't want to add things to it. And what I mean by that is, for me, the biggest factor in carrying a firearm is the comfortability factor. I want a gun that's, got a good profile, easy to conceal, easy to carry, where I don't feel it all day. And I just feel with the added weight, which it may not even be much, that's not what I want to do. The added bulk, the added weight. So it's not just for me. It's just not for me. And then he says, do you run lights on your home defense guns? I do. I actually have one in my safe with my home defense gun, sir. Let's see. Dennis is saying 419 is part of Dutchess County. Jesus. It's getting better every day. Let's see. Floridian is saying bought another Winchester safe for the money. Works just fine for what I need. Yeah. And again, I think the biggest problem with this quote unquote gun community is the fact that everybody rags on everybody. Like, if you don't have this thing because it didn't cost you $87,000, then you're just not good enough. Or you don't have this pistol, then you're not worthy. And it's like, I'm just so sick of hearing about that shit, to be honest with you, that it has nothing to do with that. First off, if you can afford what you can afford, you get it, no matter what. If it's a Winchester safe, I got a Winchester safe. I don't care. It works just fine. Yeah. Now somebody will say, well, if somebody breaks into your house, they're going to be able to break into your safe. Sure. Well, if somebody breaks into my house, guess what? They're going to steal everything else in here as well. But I mean, that's the way it goes. The biggest thing I'm concerned about is in case there's a fire, and that's about it. And whether that's right or wrong, again, that's for you to decide on your own. But for me, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you guys have to spend a ton of money to get the best quality, because I just don't buy into that theory. Let's see. All right. And we're looking at some people here. Well, we'll see what happens with this one. So let's see. Big Al, hello, my friends. Can I ask that we give a thumbs up? Yeah, I'd appreciate that, guys. If you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, that'd be wonderful. Let's see. 450 for heating oil. The high gas prices haven't even shown up yet. Wait till July. I know that's what they're saying. They're saying $5 over $5 by the time summer hits. Henry Lever Action 223-556 Long Ranger is in. That is sweet. That is cool, Big Al. So I want to know how that is. That's awesome, man. That's friggin' awesome. Try to let everyone know that the real reasons gas is high is because your president put restrictions on our oil production for climate control while we suffer. But they're buying oil from Russia. Yeah, very odd. Let's see. Baldy's got a Tractor Supply safe. That's what I had. I got it from Tractor Supply, and it's heavy as hell. So I mean, good luck, I guess, if you want to try to steal it. Let's see. And then Baldy bought a 4570. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool 223-556. I didn't even know they were making those, but that's pretty sweet. Like, that's kind of got my ears up a little bit, but one thing at a time. Like I said, I got to finish this damn build first. So we'll go from there. All right. And just a couple of things here in the chat that I will say. If you guys would like, you can join Patreon. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. And then the second thing is, if you guys want to buy some lock grips, you can get 10% off. You just got to put in the code 1776, and that's it. And yes, I get some money for that. So by all means, buy away. I think I get money. I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, I talked to lock grips, and it's funny because my relationship with lock grips goes back years, like about 5 years when they were first just starting out. And they did something with me years ago, and I never followed through with it because I was like, whatever. And then I decided to do it again, and I'm not sure if I'm getting anything back for it, guys, to be honest with you, because they never said anything. So I'm just suspecting that they are. So if you buy them, great. Just put it anyway. You get 10% off. So at least you get that, man. It's totally worth it because I love their grips. Dennis saying he got my safe at Sam's Club. Big Al saying, reminding everyone that they made fun of my Prius that still gets 51 miles a gallon. It is a tactical Prius. That's right. As long as it gets you from point A to point B, who cares? Am I going to put a scope on that AR? Yeah, I mean, at some point, like, Bald, I'm cheap as hell. So, you got to give me some time. Actually, I have what do I have? I have a Vortex scope that I've never used. And I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's been sitting in my closet for about 2 years, maybe 3 years. It's pretty sad. Let's see. I put 879,000 rounds through my Glock. Is this my first build? It is. And as I was saying in the beginning, it's just been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of, I feel like I'm earning my master's degree in firearms by doing it, because you really learn a lot. You learn what to do, what not to do, what you need, what you don't need. So it's actually been a really good experience, and I would recommend it, because if you're into rifles and you're into ARs, but you've only bought them from a place or had somebody else build them for you, you're kind of losing, in my opinion, a little bit of the advantage of learning how to build them from scratch. And they're not complicated. I mean, there's just a lot of little nuances. Like, for me, the roll pin thing, not big fan of it, but when you have like little, hex screws that you can get in there, it's awesome. Like that's why you begin to learn what you want more than something else, depending on the advancements they've made on uppers and lowers and all that other stuff. So it's been really cool. Really, really cool. Let's see. Captain Phil saying he got a free Remington safe from his brother. He sold his house and it was already in it. Only stipulation was he wouldn't help me move it. Good luck with that. Big Al, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Again, not necessary, but I'll take it. But like I said, it's always helpful when you guys, feel generous. Again, I'm not going to ask you for any money. You can donate to Patreon, or you can always just buy some lock grips. Let's see. You ever look at an NSZ85 YouTube channel? A lot of old videos, but good build info. No, I've never looked at that one, but I will check that out for sure. Big Al also got a safe from Tractor Supply, and it is heavy as hell. He bought it on sale and love it. Yeah, I love mine. It's been great. Revolver saying they become addictive. I noticed that already, because I haven't even finished this one, and I'm already thinking ahead of the next one. And it's funny, because what I'm noticing is that building an AR is actually saving me money. It's crazy enough, because for every pistol I buy, I usually buy, I hate to say it, but I buy like 2 in advance because it takes so long to get them. But with this, I mean, the only thing that's taking so long is get stuff, because I had to wait and save up some money each time I decided to go bankrupt to buy some pieces here. But ultimately at the end of the day, I mean, all the stuff that's coming in has been really cool. Really, really good stuff. I mean, I really like my safety. It's like weird things that I really like. I like the grip to the rifle. I mean, it's been pretty cool. Really cool. Do my lights change colors like Big J? I mean, I guess they could, but I don't. I just leave them whatever colors these are. um, let's see. La, 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 la. Ooh, Yankee Marshall. Yankee Marshall is going to have a special guest tomorrow. Bald and Curious. He wanted someone that owned a wheel gun. Yeah, I would love to see him on that. That would be hilarious. But then he'd probably sue, Bald and Curious, because that's what he does. Big Al and he and I have a lot in common. Both states are 10-round limits. Yeah, it sucks. And then the biggest challenge really for me on the AR platform is to just try to figure out what magazine setup I want in order to lock it in place. So I'm looking into some options there. And again, it's funny because depending on what you decide to do with it, that could be one of the biggest costs, is trying to make it New York State compliant with the magazine, which is so stupid, man. So stupid. And then Pistol Pete is saying, yes, check out that channel. You will like it. All right. NSZ85. Ball and saying your wife and kids shoot. So my kids do. They shoot the 22s. My wife's gone shooting twice. Not a big gun fan. So that's the way it is. All right. So this man from Canada is our person, a man or woman, I'm not sure, says, hello from the other side of the world. Sir, you sound like my drill sergeant. Oh, I appreciate that. But I was not a drill sergeant. What size is your lower? I don't know. Like I said, man, this has been a learning experience. I don't know how big this damn lower is. What does that even mean? I mean, do they make them in sizes? I have no idea. Dennis Buckner, did you buy the barrel and stock? So the barrel I did buy, that's on its way, 16-inch barrel. The stock, I don't have a stock yet, but I'm looking at, because I want to get I know this is going to sound really, really stupid, but I want to get an OD green stock. So, obviously I want to go with a Magpul. So I'm just waiting to, get some more funding, so to speak, before my next incursion of buying crap that, my wife hates. Let's see. A man breaks into your house, but you don't own a gun. How are you going to shoot him? All right. See you later. Bye-bye. So just for those of you who are new to the channel, if you're an idiot, please don't watch. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Go do something else. Go find somebody else to bother. Next, now, let's see. Bald and Curious is saying it's, okay, so Big Al is saying it's important. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a Wilson Combat billet lower. Not exactly sure what size it is. It is, oh God, Jesus. It is a multi-caliber lower. That's what I can tell you. It's an AR-15 lower. That's about all I got for you. I don't know if that helps. Let's see. Bald and Curious is saying, I'm going to sue SIG. They ripped me off. I built 320 Spectre comp first. They copied it. Oh, Bald. Let's see. Keith Gregory, do you see Springfield is coming out with the Hellcat Pro 15-round capacity? So sorry for you. Yeah, it's interesting. It is a nice looking gun. I would love to get my hands on it just because it looks like it's going to be a nice carry option. For those of you out there who can carry 15 rounds, God bless. For us, it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I mean, the SIG 365 XL with the Icarus stuff has been great. I have no reason to change that. I really don't. It's excellent. Let's see, what comp or brake or flash hider are you putting on? Haven't gotten to that point yet. Let's see. A good pistol. He didn't see anything. Neither did I. Let's see. That's it. Either a 10 or a 15. Yeah. It's a 15. I didn't want to do the AR-10. So yeah, AR-15 stuff. Yep. Washington State 10-round mag ban. Yep. It's it's kind of funny. I read something, someone was saying, that the politicians here will take away your gun rights, but then they will promote it in the Ukraine by allowing AKs to be handed out to everybody. So, what's the difference? I mean, look at the situation of the Ukraine, the old adage of us never being invaded by another country is simply put because there are so many damn guns here. And, they'd have a hard time. They'd have a hard time suppressing the people of the United States if we were ever attacked. Now, obviously, people say, "Oh, they'll just use nuclear weapon." Yeah, no kidding. But what I'm saying is, you to attack the mainland of the United States would be so difficult for any invading army. Yes, they have better weapons. Yes, they have better technology, but it's the will of the people. It's the will of the people, and the fact that we're all very well armed. Big Al saying 15 can do 223, 65 Grendel, and so on. So yeah, this one is a multi-caliber, and that's why I got it. For that, eventually, if I want to put a different upper on it or something like that. So Pistol saying hi, music, long time no see. Yeah, if you well, I wouldn't know. I don't do these chats anyway, but I guess music had been gone for a while, huh? Let's see. Let me know when you need a gas block and tube. I might have one the right size. Yeah, actually, for this one, I got one. That hasn't come in. It's coming in with the barrel. So I actually got the barrel from Wilson as well, and the block and the tube I got from there just to make sure everything kind of meshes together well. So that's what I wanted to do. And I appreciate it, Big Al. Thank you, sir. All the saying that gun handout in Ukraine will lead to civil war at the end. Just wait and see. Well, that's if there's anything left over. Revolver saying, do I have a tactical shotgun? Got to have at least one. I had a 590A1. Best shotgun I ever had. I love the shotgun, but unfortunately, sometimes in the life of a YouTube moron like myself, you sell things to try to fund other things, and unfortunately, that was a casualty of the channel. I kind of regret it because that was such a nice rifle, or excuse me, shotgun. It was a very, very nice shotgun. What is my carry pistol these days? Well, it's interesting you say that. So I've been still carrying that 365 XL a lot with the Icarus precision lower. I carry that a lot, quite a bit actually. And I actually carry the MR 920. Those are like my two favorite guns right now. P07 kind of comes in and out. I haven't carried the PX4 yet. But yeah, I've been sticking a lot with that 365, man. It's just so convenient. It's so easy to carry. So it's hard to break that. I unfortunately I carry it outside the waistband right now. So as the summer months come in, I'm gonna have to maybe change that the way I look at that stuff. Let's see. Music saying she got kind of bored of shooting. Well, listen, Music, if that's the case, then send me all your stuff and I'll take care of it for you until you get back into it. I promise. All right, let's see. Just get a pump 12 and you're good to go. Yeah, my first shotgun I ever got was a Maverick 88. That was the first shotgun I ever got. It wasn't anything fancy, but it did its job. I mean, you shoot something and it goes boom. So that's always good. Let's see. Dennis saying 365 at work for me and the MR 920 outside of work. Yeah, it's hard to beat those two. It's a very good combination. Um, it's one of the things I've also noticed about just my tastes in handguns recently is I'm starting to get a little different, I guess, take on things, so to speak. So I was speaking to KS not too long ago, and we were kind of talking about it a little bit. And I said to him, one of the things I'm noticing is that in the past, I used to have this idea in my head that if I bought a gun, I want to carry the gun. That's the reason why I'm buying it. And you get to the point where you realize, well, I got 8,000 handguns. I wish I did, but let's just use that a little bit of an exaggeration. But I get all these handguns and I can't carry all of them. So instead, what I've been doing is I've kind of dropped the rotation down quite a bit. And what that's doing is allowing me some opportunities to go look at guns that I wouldn't have looked at in the past because I didn't feel like there was a reason for me to own that gun in the past. But that is definitely changing. Like for example, at some point, I'd like to get that Canik Rival. Yes, I know it's a Turkish pistol, but I like it. It's a cool looking gun, and I'll probably never carry it. But it is a gun I definitely want to own because I do like the way it looks. Everything about it looks pretty good. And maybe it's time for me to give Canik another try after my abysmal experience with them in the past. Kathleen saying for not shooting for a while, my skill levels went down. And that's interesting too. It happens, when I got sick with the COVID, I didn't go back for a while. And then I went back and I was like, Jesus, I can't shoot anymore. Not that I could shoot in the beginning, but it got worse. No, I mean, I didn't think it could get worse, but it did. But I would say that the last time I went to the range, I had some pretty good results with what I was shooting, with the exception of the Walther CCP. Oh my God. We'll talk about that too, I guess, in a second. But nonetheless, once you get it, it's like riding a bike. You get it pretty quickly again. So don't worry, music. I'm sure you're gonna be good. Big Al saying he also has his 365 XL and he loves it. Use it for a work carry inside the waistband. When I retire soon, it will be outside the waistband with the P07. Oklahoma. No one cares if you carry outside. Let's see. Music is saying, what's weird is I think I like Striker Fire versus Hammer. Uh-oh. Music, what happened to you? How are you going to do that now with all your CZ75s? Let's see. Big Al, did you get neuropathy in your fingertips? I don't even know who that's addressed to, Big Al. Nothing. You're never getting that ball. That gun is a gem. I mean, that's like no. That's just a no, sir. Not trying to be difficult with you, but no. What is it going to take? Nothing. You're not getting it, dude. Never. Never. So Big Al saying, did I get neuropathy in my fingertips? Interestingly enough, Big Al, and I don't know if it's related to COVID or if it's related, and I'm going to tell you guys, I got vaccinated. I mean, who cares? Whoop-dee, it's my choice. You don't like it, too bad. But I got vaccinated because I have bad lungs anyway from being a fireman. But once I got either COVID, and I think it actually it's from the oh my God, I have COVID brain right now. From the vaccine, I've had problems in my hands, almost like an arthritic feel in my fingers. Every once in a while, my fingers hurt. Where if I bend them, they feel like they're broken. It's been really, really strange. And then really from COVID, I think my lungs are just now starting to kind of take the turn for the better. I wasn't really fully, I guess I got pneumonia, and then I guess I recovered, but I just started running because I weigh too much. And I'm telling you, man, it's been a long road to get better. And I feel like I'm starting to now finally turn that corner a little bit more. So it's been a long time. Oh, Big Al's only got one lung. Damn, dude. Am I still into Berettas? I am. I haven't bought a handgun in a while. The last handgun I bought was a $350 Turkish gun, which is pretty friggin' awesome. But yeah, I still like my Berettas. They're pretty freaking sweet. And it's hard to beat them. Yeah, I pray for you too, man. Yeah, that's tough when you had COVID and you only got one lung to use, man. I can't imagine what that would be like. Bald and curious, don't blame COVID, just getting old. Yeah, I am getting old. I am. I still look better than you, though, for sure. All right, so it's 29 people. So like I said, again, the chats are hit and miss with me. Obviously, if I actually got into a rhythm with these, hopefully it'd be more than 29. But, now it's down to 28. So, oh well. Big Austin, he had COVID, pneumonia, and was in ICU for 10 days. Yeah, that was rough. I was on the verge of that. I was pretty close, man. Pretty close. Music saying, what gun was that? What was that? I don't know. Big Al saying, this was a great chat. Hope you do it again. Yeah, I will. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a matter of time. I think things are going to be slowing down for me a little bit here soon. So that'll be nice. None of your business saying he just got his PO7. Did I make a good choice? You, sir, or ma'am, made a fantastic choice. The P07, I think, ranks probably in, I would say in the top 10 of the majority of people who've owned firearms. I mean, I could be wrong, between Glocks and all those other things. A lot of people who are CZ fans will say nothing but great things about the P07. For me, I definitely think it is a good thing. It's a good gun, super reliable, and trigger's kind of but you can change that up if you choose to. Let's see. Bald is saying, no, you don't. Your gut is bigger and you're balder than me. And at least he has a sexy accent. Well, I don't know about that one, man. Let's see. I know Rival is competition gun, but you would not carry. I'm thinking of doing so. I wouldn't carry just because of the size of it, I guess. But again, I haven't held one, but it's funny because that gun to me is, in my opinion, some people are going to hate that I'm going to say this. Honestly, I don't really care. But I think the Rival is what the PDP should have been. The PDP is a blocky gun. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it's amazing. Oh, the thing, it's just like a block. It really is. It's like a block of steel that has serrations on it. And it's a good gun, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, that Rival looks 10 times better, a little bit more sleek. To me, that's what the PDP should have been. And music saying the last gun you got was it's 350. It is a Tishus PX9 Gen 3. So I'm going to be doing a review on that shortly. As a matter of fact, I think I can show you these. This is the grip panel. Come on, camera, you can do it. There you go. That's the grip panel. So it actually comes with replaceable grip panels and back straps. So very, very reminiscent of the VP9. So it's actually pretty cool. You can customize that. It's optic ready. I mean, it really is. It's got the works to it. And like I said, it's only $350. So very good. Let's see. And again, you can see a lot of people are chiming in about the P07, Big Al San M Carbo spring set for the P07. Yep, that's a great upgrade. And then you polish everything. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it. Dennis saying had P07, wish I never sold it. Get another one, man. You can find them. You can find them dirt cheap still. Let's see. Bald and Curious is trying to sell his horrible channel by saying go see his video on the torture testing of the P07. Alexandre Parat, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He owned the CZP07, good double action, single action. And it's like I said, it's hard to beat that. It's kind of like the polymer version of what to me a Beretta is. You know, if you're a big Beretta fan, everybody loves the 92s. 92X, series is fantastic. And if you're a CZ fan, I have yet to know anyone who doesn't like that P07. T-Cop 143, where did you finally land on the new Steyr pistols? Great guns, ergonomically the best, period. Out of any gun, they are ergonomically the best. They are unfortunately led by a terrible company that does nothing for marketing, does nothing for anything. And that gun will never see the level of support from the consumer because, and I'm just going to say it, Steyr USA sucks, period. That's it. But it is a fantastic gun, and it's a shame. Let's see. Alexandre says he loves the 226 with an E2 grip and an SRT trigger. Yeah, those SRTs are pretty sweet. And by the way, it's a much better trigger than a P07. That's for sure. Big Al saying, I always wonder why the problem with the striker and hammer fired, heck, rack the slide and it's striker fired. That's true. Let's see. Bald and Curious is he's trying to criticize me again for not having. Let me guess, Bald. You probably have the most expensive flashlight and the most expensive knife you can find. We're going to put him in timeout in about 2 seconds here. Floridian saying still you have your lever action rifle Marlin. All right, you're going to hate me that I say this. I actually sold it, and I sold it at the height of this craziness with the gun market because I made so much money off that friggin' rifle. It was ridiculous. And now you're never going to find it again. But, I'm getting into the AR platform. So, everything kind of works itself out, I guess. Now, Bald and Curious is picking on Kathleen. Alexandre is saying the Sphinx SDP is not bad either. Never had one. I'll stick with the P07. It's a poor man's SDP. Let's see. Bald must be drinking. Yeah, he probably is. He's probably drinking by himself. Poor guy. So what else have what else did I shoot? Oh, those triggers that I got, the trigger shoes that I got from geez, I'm drawing blanks on everything tonight. Tyrant Designs, that's right. I shot those with the 320s. Awesome. I mean, I know Bald is going to sit there and say, oh, it doesn't do this, doesn't do that. It's not about that. It's about, just kind of having a nice feeling trigger. And it actually feels a little bit more like there's mass to it regarding the standard SIG trigger, or even for that matter, the Apex trigger. The Apex trigger is pretty thin, but the trigger pull on that was great. I mean, the reset is excellent. The feel of the trigger is excellent. So it's actually a pretty nice upgrade. If you're looking for a new trigger shoe for your SIG, I'd recommend them because they did a nice job. So Bald is carrying the O lights. So he criticizes me for cereal box flashlights when he's buying the sellout flashlights. How's the trigger on the T-Shirt? The trigger's excellent. The resets, the reset is it's not very tactile, but I mean, I don't really care about that stuff, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're sitting there slowly pulling the trigger, sure. But the trigger is great. The length of pull on that trigger is super short, super smooth. The reset is basically the original trigger position from the first time you shoot it. So it's not like a shorter reset or anything like that. There is a click, but you don't really feel it because it's returning to the original trigger position. But it's excellent. It's very, very light, very smooth. You have about a slightly under 4 pounds, maybe 4 pound trigger at best. But the take up is super smooth on it. So you don't feel a lot of grit or anything like that. So it's really a nice gun. I think it's leaps and bounds above triggers for the XD. Like I said earlier, it's more like an XD clone. But at the same time, the trigger is superior to that, which is interesting because most of the Turkish guns, Canik, this gun, you're finding that those triggers are actually very, very good triggers, very easy to use, good resets, short take up. They definitely do their triggers right. That's for sure. Let's see. Did I try a 509 with an Apex trigger? I did. Yep, certainly did. And it improves it. It definitely drastically improves it. I'm not a fan of any hinge trigger ever made. The FN trigger is not my cup of tea. And Smith and Wesson's, the 2.0 and the 1.0 triggers sucked, in my opinion. Terrible. But now they have the new triggers. So yeah, I saw that music. Absolutely. The night vision is coming out with CZ75 sights. It's about time. I mean, that platform of gun just does not have a lot. It definitely does not have a lot regarding sight options. So the night vision's coming out. That's going to be a huge hit for them. It's a huge win. So it was smart for them to do. Super smart. So now will I be getting them? No, because I haven't bought any new CZ75s. I have what I have. So and really for handguns in general, I'm not really seeing much still. There's, like Bald is giving me crap for buying a $350 gun. But to be honest with you, what else is out there at this point that's really intriguing to me? And to be honest with you, nothing really was. I saw a few videos on the T-Shis. It looked pretty cool. And then when I started, scrolling around for them on the internet, I found it for dirt cheap. So I'm like, geez, that's pretty awesome. So, I bought one, I got it, and I'm glad I did. Now, I would love to see the gun in a compact size because it's a big gun. It's a full size gun, so you're going to get a full size slide, full size grip. But it would be nice to see that gun in a compact size because that gun, to me, for 350, I would say it's blowing everything out of the water. I know there's a lot of people who want to peddle the Taurus firearms and all that other stuff. I'm not a fan of Taurus. I just they don't work for me. I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. So they're just not for me. This gun in particular, I liked the Springfield XDs. I did. I had a Mod 2 when it came out. I love the gun. People don't like Springfield. Okay, that's fine. Well, now you have an option to that. And I still think this gun, it just is rock solid at this point. Of course, Turkish guns have nice triggers. They don't spend money designing the gun. They just copy other manufacturers so they can spend money to improve trigger. So that's kind of an interesting comment because they don't really copy anything. The problem is that when a lot of these gun manufacturers make the firearms, they're either their patents or their copyrights expire. So it's a free game. It's fair. It's a fair game. If you look at the M9 clones, the 92 clones, they didn't steal anything. Beretta just didn't choose to renew their patents on it. So why wouldn't you take something that everybody loves to use and make it your own? And in my opinion, in some cases, you're actually improving it. So, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. Look how many gun manufacturers have copied the CZ75 design, and nobody seems to complain about that because those patents weren't renewed. Now you're getting a little bit of a broader choice. I think it's kind of funny when somebody looks at Tanfoglio or Tanfolio and they say, "Oh, look at this gun," but it looks just like a Shadow 2 because it is technically the same damn gun. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. And then let's see. Keith Gregg is saying Apex triggers for M&Ps. Absolutely, that's true. Pistol is saying they now have polymer triggers, so that's kind of cool. Save you some money. I haven't really gotten anything from Apex in a long time because I don't really have any guns that need them. So that's kind of interesting. And I would think that one question I'd have would be the new redesigned trigger for Smith and Wesson. I wonder if that's really hurting their bottom line a little bit, only because again, I haven't held one and I haven't shot one, but maybe some of you have. I wonder if that trigger on the new M&P 2.0s is actually much better than the old ones where you wouldn't necessarily have to upgrade it from Apex. So that'd be interesting to know that if that was the case. Music is saying heard lots of raves of Wait a minute, I just lost it. Lots of raves of the Rival and Meta series mechanics. Yep, I've heard the same. That Rival is sweet. The Meta is also pretty nice, but that Rival, man, it looks so bad. It looks so bad when I would say that, I mean like badass. Tourist revolvers are okay. Semis are hit and miss. Yeah, I just, you know, it's funny because you look at everybody who reviews them and they're all saying they're great guns, but I mean, how many of those reviewers carry those guns? That would be my question. You know, like that gun I got in my safe behind me, 350 bucks. Would I carry it? Yeah, I'd carry it because right now it's fully reliable. Um, would I want to see what the long term, you know, I guess quality would be? Sure. But it seems like it's built like a tank. So this will be saying Tanfo makes a good CZ clone, and they do. They're a good clone. But at the same time, you wouldn't have had that issue if they would have renewed their patents. It would only be CZ. None of your business. Thank you, sir. SAR also makes good guns. From what I hear, I don't know. I've had no experience with those, but their guns look cool. The only thing I don't like about a lot of the SAR pistols is that they have a safety on them. Like I don't want a gun with a safety. A striker fire gun should not have a safety on it. But that's just my opinion. Music saying the best gun is the one you shoot the best, and that is true. You could have a $3,000 handgun, and you could shoot it like crap. Baldy saying, actually, Tanfo is not a CZ clone. Nothing from Tanfo fits CZ. Not like Canik. You can take upper and slap it on PPQ, and it works. So that's interesting. But I mean, you tell me then, Baldy, would the design of the Tanfo be from a CZ? So maybe is it the internals that don't match up? Because you can even find that on CZs. The Omegas don't match up with the regular non-Omegas. And then Pistol Speed saying, true, it's a semi-clone. So, I think at the end of the day, when you look at guns and you look at people who own guns, we're all going to be very passionate people about these types of things. And we're going to really enjoy what we enjoy. Me personally, I will never buy a $3,000 handgun. I never will. You will never, ever see me with a $3,000 handgun. Because I just don't want one. I don't need one. To me, it's just overkill, so to speak. Now, would I buy a gun that's maybe $900 and do some things to it that add up? Maybe that could be a possibility. I mean, if I was going to buy a super expensive gun, I mean, honestly, maybe a Nighthawk would be pretty sweet. But to me, I think that it's just not something I could see myself doing anytime soon. Baldy's becoming a 320 series hack. He is becoming a shill for the 6 hour, as he says that the 320 series is the best gun out there. I don't know if it's the best gun out there. I think the modularity is undeniably the best part of that gun, and that's what makes that gun so good. Hungry Like a Wolf is saying, yes, the 2.0 trigger is definitely better. He has 10 M&P models. Wow. From Pro Series, the Performance Center, flagship model, and shields, etc. Interesting. See, that would be a gun I would revisit. It definitely would be, because I like the M&Ps. I've never had any issues with my first 1.0. I hated that gun. I couldn't, if I was shooting it straight dead on, the friggin' round would land over here in the field somewhere. But I hated my 1.0. The 2.0 series were excellent always. Pistol Pete is saying, oh, he's calling you out, Baldy. He's saying, what happened to Grand Power? Let's see. Alexandra is, I guess, saying the same. $3,000 guns is a no way. Sig MCX is maybe. That'd be cool. The P210 carry is pretty sweet. I like that gun. Did you ever buy a wife $3,000 piece of jewelry? Hell no. Maybe her wedding ring. That's about it. She doesn't like jewelry. My wife's not a jewelry girl. She's not like that. I got a good wife, man. I can't complain. She's not into that kind of stuff. She's into her kids and her home and her husband. I can't blame her because I am pretty awesome. Dan O'Neill's looking at a $2,000 gun. Whew, God bless, buddy. Let's see. Keith Gregory, what about a Shadow 2? That would be the only high price gun I would buy. A lot of people say that. I had the Shadow 2 for a little bit. That was from a buddy of mine who, sent it up so I could look at it. And it was good. It was nice. Not for me. Let's see. Alexander's saying he would love an Alien. He would like to try that. Mac, I have no idea what he's trying to say here, but I guess if you're a swinger, good for you, sir. Enjoy life. A lot of idiots on this tonight. Gotta love it. All right, guys. So about 30 plus people showed up tonight. We'll leave it up to anybody else who's got one last or two last questions here. But at this point, I just want to say to everybody, thank you for joining me on a Saturday. None of your business saying my country just legalized owning guns. What's the perfect collection? I mean, now after getting a gun, now I want to get a shotgun, rifle, semi-automatic. What's your recommendations? Well, first off, what country are you from? I think that would be helpful. Mac is asking, I'm idiot. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. Let's see. Where do you spend your money? You don't buy your wife the bling, Baldy. You don't buy nice guns and you drive a Jeep. So Alexander's in Switzerland. Wow, interesting. So none of your business is from Saudi Arabia. I don't know what you guys have available out there. I would definitely not recommend Caracol because the thing will probably blow up in your hand and you'll never see the gun anyway. So I would definitely not recommend Caracol. Obviously, if you're getting the handguns, rifles, shotguns, I mean, shotguns for me, Mossberg, because you got a safety on top as opposed to the side, and I'm a lefty shooter with the shotgun. For semi-automatic rifles, I mean, there's a ton of people out there who can tell you more about that than me. But obviously, again, it would be up depending on what's available to you in your country. And then handguns, I'm sure you guys can get your hands on Glocks all over the place. That would be a go-to for anybody. I think everybody should at least own one Glock, at least one. Let's see. And Alexander's from Switzerland. I'd said that already. Dennis saying, keep us updated on the build. Absolutely. That'll be coming sooner rather than later. Uh, Baldy saying, get everything you can afford. That is true. Do that too. Revolver saying, my $1,200 Glock is one of the best guns I own. I don't mind putting money into guns to make it like I want it to be. Yeah. Okay. Do what you got to do, man. Like, that's the whole thing. Do what you want. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's see. All right, guys. So we're going to stop there right there tonight. Thank you for joining me, guys. It's been fun. We're going to do this again, I promise. Again, if you haven't checked out the channel, check out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Obviously, share with your friends if you have any. And don't forget, there is a Patreon connected to my channel. That's all I ever say about it. And 10% off lock grips, 1776. Use it, checkout, and you get it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you, none of your business, for subscribing. Hopefully, you'll learn a little bit from my channel. Maybe not. It's kind of lame. But other than that, guys, man, everybody be safe out there. Enjoy your freedoms, because at any moment they can be taken away, as we're seeing in the world right now. And everyone, God bless. Good night. And as always, freedom is never free.